The NeuroDADverse podcast is produced by Squid Shack Studios.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Dan.
We're both fathers,
We're both married.
and we're both raising kids with diagnosed neurodiverse conditions.
Parenting is tough, and we're not saying it's harder for us, just different.
And sometimes that different can be hard to explain.
That's why we've created the NeuroDADverse, a weekly show where we share our wins, our challenges, and all the neurosparkly and neurospicy bits in between.
Our hope is to create a safe space for parents to share their own highs and lows of neurodiverse parenting. And just to remind you of three things.
You're doing great,
You are enough.
and you're definitely not alone.
So welcome to the NeuroDADverse. Welcome in to the NeuroDADverse, the podcast for, about, and definitely by parents of neurodiverse children. Today we're going to share our biggest challenges and our biggest wins of the week. We're going to maybe have a think about some comments and conversations that we've had from listeners. We're going to look ahead to next week. And finally, we will give you those all-important bath time scores from this week. If you're viewing this on YouTube, you already know that we have got a guest, but just for the listeners, we have a guest.
It's Ludo.
No, it's not our dog, but it is Laura, my wife. Laura, welcome to the NeuroDADverse.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Dan, how are
Laura.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. It's the sun is shining, and that's always lovely. We always start these podcasts by summing up our week in 3 words. So what have you got for us, pal?
I'm going to go for long, challenging, but some sunny spells. Make it sound like a
that's
weather
the weather
report.
forecast. What about your week in 3 words? That sounds good. I've gone for surprising, impressive, and
Ooh.
relief. I'm not sure if I asked you this before, but Laura, what was your week in 3 words?
Um,
Not as easy as it looks, is it, this podcasting business?
so,
3-ish words. 3-ish words.
vindicating.
Ooh.
That's a big word, isn't it?
Vindicating's brilliant, yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tiring
Tiring.
Mhm.
and joyful because it was our wedding anniversary.
It was joyful because it was our wedding anniversary.
I was just
Uh,
about to say happy anniversary. Hope
Oh,
it all
thanks,
went
Ben.
nice.
Thank you.
I got the amount
okay.
of years wrong though.
Pardon?
I got the amount of years wrong. I thought it was 15.
Oh. No,
Oh.
17. Whoop.
Yeah. Awesome.
And double celebration this week. It's podcast number 10. Double figures.
Mhm.
So, stuff that might come into my biggest challenges and biggest wins this week is that Laura had some medical news. Laura and I, as a team, painted the kitchen. Isn't that right?
Yes, Ben.
Okay. We also went out as a family for an anniversary meal. So of those 3 things, some of them will become my biggest challenge and some of them will become my biggest win.
So my week, my challenges and wins might include we had a new play date with a new friend we had not play dated with. We've had a beach trip. We've had mummy being at home because she was off for half the week. And yeah, clubs.
Oh, more
Final week
clubs.
of clubs. Yeah, final week of clubs.
Cool. Exciting stuff. Cool. I didn't ask you, but let's kick off since you're joining us. And
Probably wondering why.
well, listeners and viewers are probably wondering why. I'm interested to know whether the news that you're here to hang out and share is a win or a challenge. But do you just want to go through and share it first? You said you wanted to come on and do that.
Well, actually, that's not exactly true, is it?
I don't know.
You said, do you want to come on and do that? And I said, I don't know.
So,
And then I'm here. So, yeah.
do you not remember agreeing?
I mean, I remember agreeing, yeah. But, so, the upshot is that I had my final ADHD assessment on Wednesday, and I clearly have ADHD. Well, I've actually been diagnosed with it now.
Have been
Yeah.
diagnosed with ADHD this
No.
week.
So you are a zebra, not a stripy horse.
I kind of like pink stripes.
You what?
So does
You
our
wanna give the other
podcast.
bit of
I'll give
detail.
I'll give the so it's obviously been going on for quite some time. It's not like they just decided on Wednesday to say yes, Laura, that's exactly what you have. And so it's just kind of it's been quite a long process, but I've not really tried to think about it too much because I kind of thought I probably didn't have ADHD, even though there are lots of people telling me that I probably did. And so yeah, I had to have this kind of online assessment, didn't I, a few months ago, and loads of like questionnaires and stuff like that. Which, to be fair, for somebody with ADHD, they've not really thought it through because they're really hard. Like, it's a lot of attention, and I'm not great with attention.
They suggested that you needed kind of a bit of an advocate and sometimes, well, not just you, but people doing it often.
And you kind of like, no, I don't. And then you're like, oh no, actually, I really, really do need somebody there because I just wouldn't have been able, especially on Wednesday, I would not have got, I wouldn't have been able to remembered what the guy was saying, let alone answering the questions. I will tell the funny bit in a minute though. That was quite funny. Anyway, so I kind of, I was in a bit two minds about coming on, mainly because I feel like I'm outing myself a little bit because I've not told a lot of people. So, and I think a lot of that comes with, I don't know really, like a feeling of like, oh, why, Laura? Why are you doing it? Ludo, go down there. Why are you doing it? You know, you're 44. Like, why now? And it's kind of like, I think I've never really felt right in my brain. Well, I don't really know how to describe it really. But and I'm going to knock that coffee off. Sorry. And so it's kind of, I don't know. It is vindicating. That's kind of why I think it. I'm glad that I went through the process, but what I hadn't anticipated was that how severe they say I am. I've never achieved anything so well as this. Like, I am in the top 7%.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Yeah, of the percentage,
severity.
you've got the 96%
yeah,
severity score.
Mm.
like the pass rate for severity is 50, and I got 96.
Interesting. I don't
Which,
like the word,
considering
but
when-
yeah, I
Considering
understand.
when we'd started talking about the appointment, you were like, it's very possible that I haven't got it, but that's going to be okay. It was important, like soul searching and understanding myself. And when it came back like that, you were like, okay,
Yeah,
validating.
yes, but also I kind of think that maybe I made it up. Like, maybe I like put on a show or something. It's like that whole kind of imposter thing, isn't it? It's kind of like, oh, is this like what I've been waiting for to like make my life make sense? But actually, maybe I just created it. However, in the assessment, I did use an example, which
Oh, can I so in the assessment, as part of the assessment, the face-to-face assessment, they ask if you can give me an example from your childhood or an example from your adulthood where of something. Okay. And I think the question was around ambition, or like, can you show me that you've had an ambition or something along those lines? I really should have done my research before you coming on.
I would have remembered.
Laura did your kind of classic ADHD storytelling of bouncing around all over the place, and I had to kind of help keep her on track with giving examples because you were talking about how she feels, right? So what did you say around that kind of ambition comment, or around the getting jobs kind of thing?
Well, I think it was about kind of like,
Have you struggled to remember it word for word?
or kind of, I think it was around like confidence or something like that. And I was like, I know I can't be an astronaut, right? But I don't see any reason why I couldn't be an astronaut. And you didn't look at the guy's face, but apparently he was laughing. And I think it's that kind of.
It was not a laugh. It was a loving kind of smile and then kind of looked off screen as if like tick a few boxes.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Oh, tick, tick, tick.
It's like, I genuinely know I can't. I don't really want to be an astronaut, but
No, that's the problem.
I kind of think I'd give it a go. You know?
I said that's what NASA needs, just a few people willing to be a bit more risk taking.
I think that's a nice approach to life, though. Yeah, why not? Give it a try. But yeah,
Um,
that's
I
cool.
placed that experience down firmly in my weekly win column. It's lovely validating thing. We can start to explore how we want to go forward with this. There'll be some reasonable adjustments. It means when I'm supporting you or whatever, and we're going through conversation, we can go, don't forget. And it's like you go, oh yeah, because of that diagnosis, I need to do this, or I need to hydrate, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
very good at that.
No, I've got you.
That would have been a
But-
perfect moment for a sponsor, wouldn't it? Keep
NASA.
hydrated with.
So
Love that.
I'm interested to know, Laura, do you think it's in your biggest win or biggest challenge of the week?
I think biggest challenge.
Really?
Yeah, because I've not really still wrapped my head around it.
Okay.
And I think it's
You found the process on Wednesday's process quite challenging.
it was very overwhelming. Like I didn't actually realise that how overwhelming and emotional it was going to be. Actually, like I was kind of
You're making lots of
yeah, and I think,
connections of like, I thought that was just me, actually.
yeah, and I think kind of the older you get with these things, without really fully like understanding kind of what's going on, you forget so much about what happened as a kid, and then like when you're asked for those direct comparisons of did you find this when you were a kid, and you're like no, and then you're like, oh no, hang on a minute, yeah, I did. I really struggled with whatever it was, and that was kind of, I think for me it was so hard to kind of think back to, especially at school, like lots of situations which I hadn't really thought were like a problem. But now as an adult looking back, I think, yeah, okay, so that's why I did that. Or like, for instance, like friendships, like I didn't really have like close friends. I had like lots of different groups, and I'd go from like classroom to classroom at break time and like hang out with people. And it's kind of like, and I'd always be like, think it was weird that people just had like one or two friends or like a really core group that they kind of traveled the whole time with. And I still find that now as like an adult. Like I find it just unbelievable that you and Ben have been friends for so long. Like it's insane. It's not that I don't have friends that I've been friends with for a long time, but I think the realization we came to was that I almost need it to be like engineered. So a lot of the friends that I have,
Like a structure or like a co-pilot.
you
Keep in touch with those friends.
because other people are friends with them, they kind of keep me in the loop. And I think understanding those kinds of things are going to be really hard, but I think in the long run will help me to not feel such an epic failure. So many things.
You're quite clearly not.
I
an epic
tried the
failure.
conversation when I was
I
like,
can't hear what Dan's saying because he keeps talking.
oh, I'm really sorry. Dan, go ahead.
I just said I'm pretty sure you're not an epic failure.
Well,
don't worry.
I was trying to use the phrase, like it gives as much, probably given you as much as it's taken away. And I tried to use like things like job interviews, your confidence in job interviews. I don't think it's tough because I can see it. I can see all the positives that you gain from it, but maybe struggling.
yeah, I think I'm just like engineered just to kind of like constantly compare myself to other people and think, wow, they're doing really well, and oh my god, why do I find this so hard? And I
But
think
are
yeah, you're
they?
right, a lot of people would feel like that, but I just think you kind of I don't know, I think it eats away at you after a while, doesn't it? And just makes you feel like you're not really good enough and not really kind of, I don't know, doing a good job. But then there are things that I know that I can do, but I always kind of make the excuse of, oh well, I just what's the word? What's the expression? Like winged it, not winged it. What's the word?
Yeah, winged it. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
That expression, I can't. Those words make no sense to me right now.
Okay,
Winged it.
Improvising.
just improvising.
Yeah, like it was
It'll
like,
turn out all right. Roll of the dice.
or like oh well, I didn't. I don't know. It's tricky, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you for sharing. I mean, I suppose what what I would love to do, because as Ben was like, I've got like 50 questions I now want to ask you, but I appreciate that will be overwhelming. But maybe in a couple of weeks when you've had more time to let it percolate and digest it a bit more, maybe we can do an episode on like the actual diagnosis process that you went through. So people can understand, because a lot of people probably think you turn up, have a 10-minute fit, and that's not how it works. Like ADHD
Now this,
takes a long time to
it was the end of
diagnose.
like
I haven't gone through it
a
myself
2-year
yet.
journey.
Yeah. I've listened to podcasts on it, and I'm like, it takes years and years, and obviously that is a challenge, emotionally, physically, resource-wise. So it might be nice to actually, if you're willing to share through that, and then potentially ask some questions that I have about it, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
to
I
hear.
can talk about the online one part of the online assessment until I'm blue in the face because I'm furious about it.
Well, I've already said to Ben that we've applied. Well, I say applied. Do you apply? You go on the list, don't you? So Frankie, as soon as he turned 6, which was about 2 months ago, we've put him on the pathway for assessment. We know that that's a couple of year wait, but we had to fill in an online thing, and I've taken screenshots of about 15 questions. I went, WTF are these questions? The angles and the wording, and I think they probably, if I'm being cynical, because I do like to be cynical sometimes, I think they word it in a way to just make you not want to fill out the questionnaire, so you don't have to go through the process of trying to do a diagnosis. But yeah, some of the questions I just think are outrageously worded. But some people might just say you're oversensitive, which is probably more of a neurodiverse tendency. But yeah, I literally could not believe some of these. I'm not saying this is an NHS form. I think it is a private provider. But yeah, I just like the forms. And again, potentially when you said about the forms being so long, I think that's part of the test, right? If you like, I can't handle filling in the form, that's got to be a tick on the...
And it's like the route that I went was the ADHD 360, and it's all on like an online portal. So even just logging on, it was just a nightmare. You had to sort that out because the username and password thing didn't work.
Yeah.
I think that was your fault.
What I think might be the case is that probably, and I don't know the facts on this, but my gut feeling is a lot of the diagnostic information is probably not created by that many neurodiverse people. So,
100%.
we're at that moment in history where we're catching up with diagnosis in terms of like the percentage of our diagnosis all over, particularly Europe and the world. But what I do know is that there are certain ways in which the world will work in terms of an online portal and a diagnosis process over a long period of time that will be super inaccessible for neurodiverse people. So
if I'm honest,
I'm not I
switched off just then. I have no idea what you're talking about because I was thinking about the password situation.
Are you trying to remember your password?
Don't share your password online.
No, don't share your password. You're not like that.
No, amazing. No, well, thank you so much for sort of coming on and sharing that with us. It's really nice. We say we're trying to be an honest podcast and sharing experiences and feelings as and when things happen. And I appreciate, obviously, this is really new and you're still digesting it. But if you are happy to chat about it again in the future, I'll love to do that.
Yeah, I'll probably have completely forgotten you asked me, and it'll be a nice surprise. So yeah.
If you'd like to hear more from Laura, you can fast forward this and check back later on in the podcast because Laura did bar time this week, so she has the score, not me.
Do I get to explain my score?
Yeah, I'm not just going to have you back
absolutely.
on and say one number out of 10 and then go away. It's not. Here's the NeuroDADverse, but we do like to welcome all voices.
Say that I listen to this every week, don't you? Word for word.
Yeah, and the thing about that is 2 things. Oh, do you not?
Of course I don't.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, actually,
of course I do. Of course I do.
That was the point I was pointing out. There's some fruity things I've said in other episodes, and I would
Tea.
Well, yeah, things I think that you would disagree with. So, but you don't listen, so now I'm just going to.
No, I absolutely do need to.
Open the door and all of that.
No, she listens and just forgets afterwards, which is good for you, probably.
She's
being supportive.
I've said some things you would absolutely disagree with. You want to hear what I said in episode 4?
Oof, yeah, episode 4, that was a banger.
That's an ADHD partner hack. You can speak to your partner in clickbait, and then they will go and do the thing.
It's just so. I feel like it's really manipulative, but it was so manipulative.
It's helpful because it gets a task done.
Yeah. Do I need to leave now?
You won't believe what I tried to wash in the dishwasher.
I don't. I'm not sure. Dishwasher.
Yeah. Well, I'll come get you. Goodbye, Laura.
Goodbye, Laura. Thank you. Back in a sec. You're listening
to the NeuroDADverse. Hello, mate.
That was awesome. I'm glad that she was open to sharing.
Yeah.
So our first official zebra as well. There we go.
Yeah, officially zebraed up in the team.
She's moved into the next pen. We're all still in the stripy horse pen.
Yeah.
Is it a pen? I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know.
I think the less fences, the better. I'm not sure I'm going with it. Yeah, it was really helpful for me to sit and kind of listen to her talk through it. She I don't want to dominate the whole pod with this. We'll maybe come back to it, but she couldn't have done that because she couldn't have done that. She couldn't stay on. It was such an emotional, she was kind of heightened and she just couldn't stay on topic really, but in a loving way. I was just like, you were asked for an example and then she'd bounce around all the place. So big huge win for me because I've been trying to kind of be alongside her with it all for a long time, and I know that it now gives her a reason why she struggles with a lot of things in life, but also why she can do exceptional things too. So yes, but that's my biggest win. What was yours, buddy?
So my biggest win this week, I think I'm going to put it down to the play date that took over a year in the making, in the happening.
Pull up guy. No.
No. Pull up guy was Jim. He wasn't at the gym this week.
Oh no, your friend. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend's friends. I've met her a few times at parties and social events that my friend, our mutual friend, hosts. But yeah, so I think we've had 4 play dates arranged, and we've taken it in turns. People have been ill and stuff happens, but went off really well actually. They were here for 3 hours. They came to us. Her son comes straight in. Hi. Walked over, started saying to me, Frankie won't speak back to you. He's like, oh, okay. And then they were very just happy around each other. Again, they don't necessarily play with each other. Neurodiverse kids kind of play independently together. It's probably the easiest way to describe it, isn't it? But we did get a few moments where they were both sitting on the sofa next to each other watching TV. And it was just really nice to chat to another SEN parent about their life.
They have similar behavioural traits or needs to Frankie, or
no, actually, it was nice because it's seen a different sides. A lot of the sort of, it's kind of like the local sort of friendships that we have. They are quite similar, non-verbal or not using a lot of English, or they communicate through tablets because you get the programs that speak. You type in what you want to say and it says it for you. But no, he can talk. He has a really good vocabulary. So he came out into our garden and he's like, Venus flytrap. And she went, oh, I think that's just the dying sunflower. And yes, my sunflower is dying. I don't know what happened to it. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome language. He's like, yeah, he knows all the words, might not know how to use them in full context. But I'm like, that's pretty awesome. So, he was really happy, played. And it was just nice to have a potential another option as someone to hang out with, play dates with. So we've said we'll either try and go out or we'll go to them next time.
Nice.
Just the way that Frankie socializes, it's easier for people to come to us first because then he can warm up to the person, and then when we go and appear at their house, he's like, you're the person that was in my kitchen, because then he can make that connection.
We talked before about how much you want to risk. And you don't want to turn something down, say, well, we can't go to their house because they haven't come to us first. Because if they have a SEND kid, they're probably thinking the same thing. So it's just maybe today we just go and we walk around, but we familiarise ourselves with it. Oh, that's great, mate. That's great.
Yeah.
We're going to pop on to challenges, but we'll probably do that after you hear me recommend that you follow us on all social media. Got a question or want to share a story? Drop us a message on Instagram or email us at NeuroDADverse@gmail.com. Look after yourselves. Welcome back into the NeuroDADverse. Before we just had a quick break, we were talking about our biggest wins. And now we're going to get on to our biggest challenges. Dan, what were you up to this week that was challenging for you?
So my biggest challenge of the week, really, it's just been the sleep is obviously always going to be a bit of a big one. If you're not getting any sleep, it just makes everything else that a little bit more difficult. So yeah, last weekend, just a couple of things just didn't quite pan out in the way that we thought in terms of like childcare. So we went out, and then Frankie woke up in the middle of the night, wanted to have a party. I think I woke up in 4 different places, but I only remember
Hang on,
waking
this
up
is
twice.
where, just for clarity, this is where you and Amy went out and
We went out to a party.
someone sat Frank.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Oh, Frank.
yeah. So I just remember I woke up in 4 different places around the house, but I only remember moving twice. So I was obviously quite tired. So yeah, that was a long day. Then we hosted a play day, and that was actually fine. But just haven't really you never catch up on sleep. It's not something you can just store up and deploy when you want, right? Because I wish you could.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that was sort of challenging. And then last night, for 2 Saturdays in a row, I then went out because I had something to go to, and then again got in late, and then got up early because we went to the beach today.
Oh yeah, you were saying you were a bit.
So yeah, so we went out to the beach, but that was our challenge. Unfortunately, the too long didn't read it ended in a meltdown, and we had to leave early. But we did recover the day, but just very frustrating. And it is purely, I think we did everything right on our side, trying to plan what you can do and sort out, but it's just examples. I'll go through the story, but just examples of how the world can be challenging for people with neurodiverse traits and different sensory issues. I hate issues, challenges. So yeah, we got picked up. We went with our really close family friends, our old neighbours. Drove to a beach, and I can't. Well, it's never happened, but we went to a place. We went to the seaside, and there was no sea. So challenge one was
Tide was out.
the tide was basically in France somewhere because I could not see it. Okay, so it was just landscape of lots of seaweed and lots of mud. So we got an absolute touch getting there. We just kind of winged it, driving along the front, and a parking space just happened to be there. We got it. We are a 10-second walk to the little section of the beach that we got told about. It's quite a nice little bit of beach. Frankie took 10 minutes to want to get out the car, which is fine. We knew that. It takes time to warm up. We then went over to the beach bit, and he wanted to take his shoes off straight away, which is usually a really good sign. That means he's feeling comfortable. He wanted to sort of do a few laps of technically a car park right by the toilets. And then eventually we got down onto the beach. Amy and our friends had gone further up. It was probably 30-40 meter tiny bit of beach. And if the tide was in, I can imagine it is actually a nice little sandy bit. So they had a parasol. We had a prop up tent because Frankie likes to prop up tent. So I was like trying to give him the visual cues of this is where we are. He never actually made it, maybe the 15-meter walk to get to them. He kind of just slowly, obviously making a beeline for what should have been seaside. And he just started to go. And I was like, we're going to have to follow him. So we just kept going and going and going. And eventually he was like, Frank, we're going to have to stop now because we are seriously out here. Like, we're in nowhere near the actual tide yet. But it's just getting much, much harder to move I'm like going past ankle deep every time I'm taking a step. And I went, this just might be dangerous. You're lighter than me, so I will sink faster. But at some point it's going to get dangerous. So finally managed to catch up to him. But obviously he doesn't understand why I'm trying to keep him alive, actually. And he's like, he just wants to keep going forward. I'm like, babe, we can't do that. So that kind of got him a little bit stressed out that he just didn't understand. It got to the point where we're probably going to want to eat soon, but we're now quite a long way away from where the shore is meant to be. So I started to, guide him towards the right way. We did a lot of lateral walking just because I was like, we just can't go that way. We'll just go laterally and start going back. But yeah, it got a bit stressful for him. And he started to get a little bit upset. He wanted to cuddle me, then he didn't want to cuddle me. He fell over a couple of times, then got muddy. He doesn't mind it when it's wet, but because it was so hot,
Yeah,
it started to
dried.
dry. So then he's like looking at me and I'm like, all right, we're trying to clean him and whatever else. And Amy's at this point kind of come to join us because it takes like 15-20 minutes to get to where we were because it's just trying to,
Yeah,
there's
of
just no
course.
grip because it's just like really clay, slidey
Yeah,
mud.
yeah.
So we're trying to go up decently steep, small banks. It's fun, but not when you're trying to chase a kid who's much quicker than you,
Yeah.
with a bad knee. So yeah, it was. So she comes to us. And I was like, we talked to him. He was getting a bit upset. He gave some cuddles, and then we're like, he's probably hungry. Do you want to go get some food? But that's now going to be at least a half hour there to come back again. We sort of got him halfway, and then he just got scared of there was a small river, I say. It was a couple of inches deep. It was actually quite warm because it wasn't that deep and the sun was hot. But he just mentally couldn't work out how he was going to go down this steep, slidey, muddy hill and get across. And I probably spent about half an hour there just waiting. And he was doing his laps and he was going one step closer. And I was like, eventually he will just go and then we're just going to have to make this go. But he was really emotional at this point. There was a lovely kid,
It's been
probably like 10-year-old. He was like, hey, you okay? Like, you can go this way and you can go this way. And I was like, he was really trying to help. And I was like, thank you so much, mate. Like, he's watching you and any minute now he's just going to do it. And I'm just going to have to pray that I'm able to follow him and he goes the right way. But I was like, I don't think this is going to work, unfortunately. And it's just like, we didn't check if the tide was in. And you're just like, all of this could have been totally avoidable. At the time, we were like, oh, this will work out. And then he started running. And when we saw he didn't stop, you're like, so yeah, he then he started to get a bit upset, got across. He just went for it. We got across. He was okay. And I thought, okay, I think we're avoiding, like, he's really well shook here with the Coke can. It was pretty shook, but we were okay. I said, do you want to go get an ice cream? How about we have a sandwich, and jammy sandwich, and we'll have an ice cream. 2 nice buzzwords that he likes. He got very close to where we were sitting. And then he sat down in the tent, Amy gave him a jam sandwich. And he then he remembered we parked right by an ice cream van. So he then got up and took me by the hand, and I went, he wants the ice cream. Or potentially he might just want to go to the car as well because he's upset.
Really, that's really good.
Yeah, and I was like, this is good. I went back and I said, babe, I don't know I think he wants the ice cream, but let's just see. If he wants to go to the car, we'll just pack up and go. The people were with, like, if he needs to go and if we need to go to another beach, we can. I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. We went to the ice cream. I ordered an ice cream. Amy had to go back to get her stuff because all our bags were in, the base camp, as I like to call it. And just as I got him his sorbet, went to hand it to him, a load of motorbike, like not game, but like the old quadrophenia style. And I was like, I just did not remember. Like, as a neurotypical, you go to the beach and you they're there, but you just don't think because it doesn't affect you. And their engine, they just revved, and he just went absolutely crazy. Well, not crazy. He literally was just petrified to the point where he didn't even want the ice cream. He was screaming. He was cuddling me. He wanted me to carry him. I'm like, there's nowhere I can go. We're in the open air. There's like 5 or 6 of these bikes, all revving really hard, and I'm just like, this was literally the worst thing that could have happened.
Were they revving and going, or just revving?
Well, they were going past us. They were going past. Okay. There was a little bit of revving. It probably lasted all in all for like 30, 40 seconds.
So what did you do to like look after his needs then?
So
once they revved and they'd gone. Yeah, I was going to say. So
they parked up. That was the problem.
Completely unraveled
again.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, because we were near some cafes, some pubs. Like, it's a nice little. It's a lovely location. We were also right on the train line. So while these were happening, I'm like, look, train. When I was trying to get him to come back, I'm like, train's coming. So yeah, I was like, I had to carry him. So I started to take him back to the beach. I went, if I can get him inside the tent, maybe he'll just feel a bit comfortable. He can eat his ice lolly. I got him halfway there. It was obviously proper meltdown, screaming and letting us know he's not happy. And then they revved up because they were parking, so they were like de-rev into whatever. And then he wanted to get down and he started running. And I was like, Amy's going to the car. I said, just get the stuff, like bring us the key, because we didn't have the key because it's not our car. So he then ran to the car. I'm walking around with this ice lolly. It's starting to melt because it's really, really hot. And as soon as I could get him in the car, we sat in the car, and then he was just looking out the window. Took a couple of minutes, and then I said, do you want the ice cream? And he took it, and the ice cream obviously helped him deregulate. But yeah, it was just, we had a plan for, because obviously we're covered in mud now, we were going to lay all the towels out, we were going to change, we were going to do all this stuff, and then it all just went to hell in a handbasket in the space of like 10-15 seconds.
But mate,
yeah.
it does sound like when I'm going to use the term unravel, when he unraveled on those couple of occasions, he sought you for comfort, right?
Yeah.
Or like you guys, he thought, no, this is enough now, I'm going car. And so that shows that in a new environment, he's been there before.
No, he's never been there.
No,
before.
right.
None of us have been there before.
So absolutely, and I'm not trying to take away from how tough it, of course, was in the heat.
Yeah.
But let's just point out, like I told you my museum story with Oscar.
I don't think so.
Victoria and Albert Museum. Essentially, we went to see an exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum. Oscar needed to do laps of that place to work out where and how things were. But what we'd done as we got there is we sat on the steps outside just to have a drink and like, I think we had a buggy with us at that. Did we? Not sure. Kids were toddlers, baby just walking. We lost him. He just couldn't deal with a certain room we were in, and legged it through an exhibition that was ticket only. So I had to like go, I'm so sorry, my ticket is here, but like, can I please? And I just had to go, and I just ran out of there through an exhibition, and I went, I'm going to the steps in the front. And Oscar was just sat at the steps at the front.
So lucky.
In the moment, yeah, he's like
That's
so
right.
lucky. But what I mean is, I think something happens in autistic kids' brains where they go, "Where's the safety?"
No, 100%. Yeah,
and then communication is also there with you, mate. So like you were mentioning the other day about how like mummy is comfort, daddy is fun. A lot of the time for Frank, but actually it seems like you solo got him down from like,
yeah.
You know
when
what I
he's
mean?
upset, he comes to me.
And in his brain, well, I'm on the sand or I'm on the whatever. I'll walk until where it meets the sea. And obviously, when you've got all the things to think about in terms of transitioning and getting out of the house with friends, car or whatever, of course you don't check when stuff's happening. You're just like happy to have done it. So
yeah, we went.
But the heat will have absolutely played that part today.
Yeah, because he hadn't drunk or eaten anything because we couldn't get him back. But I think that I wanted to share it because obviously meltdowns are the key thing that everyone sort of, as soon as you say, oh, kids got special needs, autistic, what meltdowns, like, is literally most people's go-to, like, what is it like? So he's only had probably 3 or 4. But what I am thankful about is the way that he melts it, because again, everything is a spectrum. Everyone has very different ways of doing it. He isn't a person that has a meltdown and just totally switches off and just stands still and freezes. He is a runner to the nearest safe space. And sometimes I don't know what that is, but that's why I agree. Like Oscar was like, obviously he felt comfortable because you had that chat before you went in. The steps of the nearest safe space. Well, to Frankie, it was our friend's car.
Oh no, Dan, don't misunderstand. We just stopped because we had to like hydrate and stuff. People were like, oh, should we stop and have a quick drink before we go
But it
in?
made it familiar to him because you stopped.
Yeah, but it wasn't intentional. Yeah, man, I think.
And then, but the rest of our day was fine after that. Like he likes driving. We drove like another 20 minutes down the coast, and then said, "Shall we just go back to your house and just chill it?" Because he loves their garden. We went back to their house. They bought him his favorite takeaway. We set the tent up, and then we just sat in the garden. We got his iPad out. He ate. He had a nice time. And they're like, "Is he okay?" I went, we don't know. Like, he looks happy now, but literally the smallest of things, he could go again. But he's been all right.
If you took,
but it just was sad that we spent our whole day around that.
Yeah, but if you took him tomorrow, and the tide was in, he'd get it. He'd just get it.
Yeah.
And this is what I don't think it's everyone's experience is different, but I am so thankful for those early years meltdown experiences where I had to invent a way to help Oscar. When
Mm,
we were trying to communicate when he had hardly any language, it was breaking down words. So I'd say calm heart down, blanket over, satin in between. Um,
mm.
I was chatting to someone else about this, but I told him a pack of cards story where
Yeah,
one
yeah.
face it was like his face and the other side was
Nice.
I'm Oscar, I'm autistic, this might mean this, 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 and you just drop it on the floor when they're unraveling so people can pick it up and not like just get what. But that, like I said, that was 10 years ago. So maybe some acceptance is a bit further down the line. But I I I had to do that. You'll remember if you listen to the other episodes when Oscar was really, really freaking out about some teenage stuff in the bathroom and trying to like hurt himself and hit his head against the mirror because because they felt that they had done something wrong. I had to use calm your heart down. And like
Mm,
I'm a safe person, he sits away from me and we have that. I hadn't used it for ages, but because we went through those meltdowns and they feel horrible at the moment, but I tell you, I mean, if Laura was still here, she'd tell you that when we moved to the coast, she was like, "This is brilliant. We get to go to the beach all the time." Took the kids. Oscar had one of the most memorable, in not the best way, meltdown that we ever had. Like, wouldn't put a foot in the sand, couldn't deal with the sensory, and we just thought, oh, "This is horrible. We're never going to be able to do it." But we did as one of our outs this week. Go down to the beach, and Oscar loved it. So yeah, it's one of those kind of I don't know, trials or rites of passage that you go through with your
yeah, so
child,
mm.
but it doesn't feel like it in the moment.
Yeah,
But
no, at the end of the day, I still think we've won the day now, but the whole day was built around the activity of we're going to go to the beach because he likes the beach. We just happened to go to a beach where there was no sea, and apparently it wouldn't be until about now. So we're recording a slightly later pod. Like this is Sunday evening now. Like if we'd have turned up there now, there would now be a seaside, but there's no way we could go to the seaside
no,
now.
of course.
So it was just one of those sort of like, and I'm standing there like, gosh, if I didn't even think to check. Like of all the things you do to try and
Yeah,
prep
but
for a day, didn't even check the
yeah,
tide times. Oh well, but yeah, like we turned it round, but also he's with people that he likes and he feels comfortable around, and they just like, what do we need to do? And we're like, really sorry guys, we're heading home at like 12
yeah,
o'clock
but
to the
equally,
beach day. But they understand, but also they hadn't seen him get that upset before, so it's kind of
yeah,
again they
right.
they now
So
have a bit more understanding. But they were really good with it, and they're just like, well,
yeah,
it's his day because it was also meant to be his birthday present for them. Like, well, we want to take
oh,
him somewhere and
amazing,
do an experience.
good.
But yeah,
So,
so it
all the
works out
conversation
okay.
is the next time Frankie will know more.
Yeah.
You know,
And we'll definitely go
um,
to a beach where the tide is the perimeter. There was no perimeter. That was the initial thing was,
yeah.
he'll be all right. And then I went, no, what are you talking about? He's like a
You
dog off
don't
the lead. He's
you
gone.
don't lose, you learn, right?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
lose, you
exactly.
learn.
So, yeah, I know
Cool.
since having done the podcast, I'm like, oh, we've had another epic win. But just to show, yes, like
Cool.
meltdowns do happen in our world.
Amazing. I'm gonna go quick fire on the wins. Sorry, the challenges. Um, I thought it was going to be our 3 out week. We took the kids to go ape.
Yes, Monday.
That was a lovely, lovely little win. We actually realised that they'd been 3 years ago. We thought it was 2 years, but it's 3 years ago. But it was familiar, same place. They went and did everything independently. They did the slightly harder course. They looked after each other. They shouted at each other when one of them was going too slow or too quick. They did classic teenage stuff. They felt a little bit embarrassed when the leaders were talking to them about what they had to do. They ziplined. It was great. Good fun. They ziplined so well that they did that thing where if you run on the zipline, you then like land, carry on running. They both were
Ooh,
able to do that.
that's awesome.
Instantly, Mabel did it on her third go round or whatever, and Oscar was like, "Is that what you do?" So they did it as well. So they voted it. So that was fun, lovely stuff. Oscar, in fact, went up for a third go round. I can't remember the time, how many times they were able to do it in the time slot, but Oscar was then blaming Mabel and Nicole all the way home. You were supposed to be there to support me, and you didn't. You made me do it all on my own. I was locked on a rope halfway up a tree, and I was giving her like younger sibling jip in a funny way. That was great. We did the open top bus and then on a day which became really the kids' nana. That was lovely. It was a bit overcast and cloudy, but it wasn't like intensely hot because it's 2 hours. Oscar decided to draw all of the buildings on the way around on like a flip pad.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was excuse me, that was good. And we had a bit of a beach morning on our anniversary with a like a reconnecting with a friend I hadn't seen for a long, long time, which was lovely. And so we did that. People were in the sea. And then we had a quick turnaround and went out for some food for on our anniversary day. And that's where the challenge comes in, because Oscar wanted to get dressed in a particular outfit, but the particular outfit that they had in mind was not something they actually owned.
Right.
So they wanted to make that outfit. Because Laura's quite crafty, if Oscar says, I want this plushie, Laura goes, 25 quid, what are you talking about? I can make that, and then makes it. So there has become somewhat of a pipeline where Oscar goes, I want this made. So that just kind of, Oscar was getting quite angry and upset that they weren't able to do that. And I found that pretty difficult to deal with, just because, like, looking at Oscar trying to express themselves, whether that be in relation to gender identity or not, or just being a human being who wants to express themselves in a certain way. We did manage it, but it was very much like it prompted us to go, okay, we have to do a assessment of like what clothes Oscar actually wants and what clothes Oscar will be able to do. Basically, in short, they wanted to wear a crop top. I don't have one of those, so they ended up wearing a t-shirt that we just that they didn't mind us cutting off, like the bottom. What's my arm? Sorry. And that was okay. And they came for table dinner. We then had a challenge that a friend of ours came for dinner with us. They came for dinner with us, and they said, "Oh, we should." There's a bowling alley near. Oh, we should go bowling. Mabel was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I tried to take Oscar in there the other day, and it was Oscar said there was too.
It's loud.
It's just a lot.
Mm.
It's a lot. And what we did was Oscar initially said no. I was getting a bit upset that we were going to go do it. So we got Oscar they put their headphones in and they were able to listen to music while they were bowling, and they actually bowled with us.
Awesome.
Yeah, they did some awesome dance moves. I don't think they were interacting with anyone else other than when their name came up. They went and threw 2 balls, but they were good. So it did kind of turn out into a nice win, but it was super challenging because a lot of people around that table were like, "Yeah, let's go carry on the party." And Mabel was like, "Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely do this." And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be fun." And then I was like, "Oscar,
Yeah,
we
it's
need to."
unscheduled. Mm.
Yeah, but we managed it. But yeah, the clothing and their self-confidence linked to their image is has been a bit of a challenge this week. But
So was that kind of a woke up this morning and got an idea of what I want to wear? Where is
no,
it?
it was. I think it's the ceremony of like going to a restaurant.
Right.
The history of Oscar in restaurants has been super interesting. Like, we could only ever go to Nando's for some reason early on in Diagnosis, or like even in pushing him in prams. I like don't know. Well, I don't like we. It was awful unless it was that one. I don't know if it was color, sound, mood, smell, whatever the sensory need was. So we're able to do other places now. If there's something about that place, it's a blacklist. We have to do the social story of like, oh, this is what it looks like from the outside. this is you there before, like a photo and stuff. We haven't been to this one place before, but it was middle of the afternoon. It was empty. We were going to meet people there who are very friendly with Oscar, and Oscar's known all their life. So yeah, a bit of a challenge, but essentially, we were able to communicate things out. I think that's because we've had so many outings, or we've tried so many outings where it's gone wrong. So that's good. I saw some really lovely. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead on challenges to listeners stuff. I saw some really nice interactions on the socials about our the clip we posted a few times about Frankie's first word outside the house.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had some nice interactions, and so we've had a couple of really nice reviews on Apple Podcasts. So
Oh, thank you guys.
please let us know your thoughts. It is
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are here to do therapy for us, but it is also we're happy to help others share your wins, discuss challenges.
100%.
So yeah, just
100%.
keep supporting the pod.
Yeah, please do. It feels very odd to drag our conversation back to talking to listeners, because I get completely lost just talking about how stuff is going for both of us, which is why I love doing it. But yeah, if you are got ideas of what you'd like to hear from us, or suggestions, or just want to say things that you thought were useful, and please write a comment when I get the intro right. I'm aiming for it next week. Now on to the fantastically named best bit of the podcast for the title, for a format point. It's called the look ahead to the week ahead. I reach off screen and grab my phone because I've got no idea what I'm doing. Danny looks off screen and goes, next week? I'm not done with this week yet. I'm
just going to be honest and say I'm not 100% sure what my week ahead is.
Yeah, me too.
Amy is off for most of it, but at the end of
That's
the week,
why you
she's back
don't
to
know,
work.
Dan.
Yeah, so as I said, I think
Amy's
everything's
planned
more
loads
fluid.
of stuff. Amy needs to come on and tell me about the weekend.
Credit where credit's due. Amy
Indeed.
is the organizer. But yeah, I think everything's just a little bit more fluid and everything's more in pencil, because we can move things around. This week is different because we don't have any clubs this week. So Frankie's been going to a club 1 or 2 days a week throughout the summer. So this week is different because it's not as potentially changing because Amy's around more, so we can tag team or try and do other activities. But also we've just had a bad experience going out. So tomorrow will probably
You took him out the beach?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just call it a little bit and go, we just took that whole day out, and you think that ultimately it was a bit of a balanced one. You had an issue.
From my point of view, I suppose, but yeah, from his point of view, it would be a bad experience, wouldn't it? So
I was just sorry, I see what you mean. So what you're doing is saying we'll see how they react tomorrow. They might need a calming day.
Yes,
I see what you mean.
Yeah, so I think
fair.
I don't believe we have any. We might be going to. I think we're going to try the gym that we normally did like later in the week. I think we might be down for an early week session because they normally did that, but he was normally somewhere else. So I'm just going to see how it goes. Which I know I say probably most weeks, but as I say, pretty much when you've got kids, your life's always in pencil. So anything can change anything. But yeah, have you got anything set in stone?
It's GCSE results day, and I make the screw face because I don't have to do any work. This week was A-level results day, so I did some total of 20 minutes logging in, reading some bits and bobs, and going, oh, that's good. Oh, I was surprised by that in a negative way. Oh, but generally things are okay. Blah, blah, blah. Shut laptop, go and do a thing. GCSE's a little bit different because it's not like people are going off to university or apprenticeships or whatever. I need to find a little button, which is the work alarm. When I used to hang out with my teacher friends and we used to be in a pub before I had kids, I used to end up just walking into sitting there and then looking at my watch and going, well, it's been half an hour. And I used to go, work, because I talk about work too much. We all talk about work too much. Anyway, we have kids going from GCSE into A level. So it's me and one other member of the department who is the head of department. So she likes to make decisions together, which is why I love working when I work. So she might want to be in contact a bit, but I have a thing to do to take Mabel to. We were going to go up to where I work and then spend the day in that town and do like a crazy golf thing. But Mabel has a thing that we have to go to now, so that might move that around. But I also might have to go, so I don't know. We've got some pencil in stuff. We might do like an climb the inflatables, try not to fall in the lake thing. That's its official title. You know what I mean?
It sounds like fall off the inflatables into the lake is the actual
deliberately, yeah. With things on. And yeah, I've got a big weekend coming up next weekend. I'm doing. We've got two people, Laura and I know, are getting married on the same day. And what I mean by that, there are two
different couples. Oh wow!
Yes. And
so you're going to do like
we're
27
invited to
dresses.
We're invited to the whole day for one thing.
Yeah.
And just the evening reception for the other. We were like, this is awkward. What do we do? These one's family, the other one's work. I'm not sure. They are 15-minute drive away from each other.
Result.
Who knew? So I don't know what that looks like in terms of micro. I still call them. I've done it on the podcast before. When the kids were young, I developed this phrase, the micro humans, and I still call them that to this day. So I'm not sure what happens with the micro humans about like hanging out, sleepovers. We're not going to be super late back, but whatever. And then I'm out on a social thing. I don't know why I've clipped that. I'm going to watch the wrestling at the O2 on Sunday.
Nice.
So, because I love me a bit of silliness.
Fair enough.
So I don't know what that looks like in terms of kids.
Have
is
you
something
seen the
I
film?
probably should.
Have you seen the film 27 Dresses? You're a rom-com fan.
No.
So your scenario is played out in that where she's bridesmaids at two weddings happening at the same time. And she just cab brides between the two.
Oh, right.
That is how I see your evening.
Nice.
You're just randomly appearing for half an hour here, half an hour there.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like what's the guy's name? Dated reference. High school TV show, American. The guy gets himself into all sorts of scrapes and japes. It's called 1990s. Saved by the Bell. He's always trying to be in two places at once, isn't he? Yeah, it's like that. You, film tangent. This podcast, you've only ever recommended to me or mentioned to me films about weddings. Wedding dresses and 27 dresses. Is that your favourite genre? Cool.
Not usually, but it's just the way the cookies crumbled.
Indeed. The way the wedding cake has crumbled. So yes, it seems like I have to get off this pod record and do some organisation. All right, that was a look ahead to the week ahead. I'm going to go and fetch Laura so she can tell you all about my bath time scores, and we'll hear about Dan and Frankie's bath time scores as well. See you in a bit.
Back in a sec.
Hi, welcome back into the NeuroDADverse, the podcast for, about, and definitely by parents of neurodiverse children. Laura has joined us back again because it's bath time score time. So just for clarity, if you're listening for the first time, each week Dan and I share our bath time scores out of 10 in terms of how well our bath times went. Frank's a little bit more of a regular bather than Oscar. Oscar is a once a week bather, which is about all we can handle. And we have various things. The reason Laura's back with us though is because Laura's going to take over the pod and talk about the bath time scores, because you bathed Oscar today. No, not today. Earlier on this week.
Yeah.
Before the event. So headphones are being handed over if you're watching on YouTube.
You have the power.
It's exciting.
So, tell me, how was this particular bath time?
So I think what's important to remember is that Ben and I have very different ways of scoring bath time.
Awesome.
Ben's scoring system is mainly down to how much Oscar can do himself.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is how much I can do for Oscar in order to get the job done.
Quickly.
Quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
So my score this week was an 8 out of 10 because I know, right?
That's awesome.
Because it was quite quick. I'm very task orientated, and Oscar we just smashed it out. But I did end up washing his hair and constantly coaching him, didn't I? I would say constantly coaching. I didn't do that at all. I probably just said, Oscar, can you please do this? And I'll come back in 5 minutes. And if it wasn't done, I didn't really care. And as long as his hair was washed properly, that's all I really cared about.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So I also,
Shout at each other either, so that was good.
yeah, because so I have shared on the podcast before that your worst environment to be in is a swimming pool change room because of what I perceive to be your sensory needs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
Hot.
which is mirrored in the bath time, isn't it? So
Yeah, I've just
and-
found the whole thing very frustrating because it's like just get the bath done.
yeah, Oscar, they like to,
Spend some time in there.
yeah, and they like to enjoy their
Oh.
through, yeah.
And I don't.
So this is never a double.
No.
It's never a double. No, it is a full-on tag team, isn't it?
No, it's yeah, I guess maybe a bit.
I don't know. If I've been doing bath time for 2 hours trying to encourage that independence, and Oscar requests,
I just don't know how you can do that. I just don't know how I can wing that out for like 2
I think it's just I teach and you nurse. So therefore, you're like, I've got a million other people to see. Get in, get sorted, get out.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, let's create progress over 2 years.
To be fair, your strategy is definitely to the benefit of Oscar because that is what we're supposed to be teaching them.
I don't know. Looking at the scores, I've only ever optimistically gone for an 8. I did do a 10 once, but that was because last week, my mum, Oscar, asked for the bath,
Yeah.
and it was done entirely without either of us being there.
Yeah.
And Mabel helped with the drying at the end. So I have never given higher than, maybe I gave an optimistic 8 on the list. So you've smashed it and given an 8. So technically, empirically, you're better than me at bath time.
Well, that is true.
I was going to say this. I go, well, if you look at the data here, Ben, it sounds like bath time, you might be the challenge. But I know it's not the case. But yeah, it's interesting though, isn't it?
Yeah, I
So-
think it's just different strategies, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's fine.
Well, I think that one of the frustrating things of being a parent, I suppose, is how your child acts differently depending which parent they're trying to interact with as well. So obviously, like if I want Frankie to do something, it is totally if he wants to listen to me and maybe throw me a bone and go do something quite quickly. If Amy asks him, he is far more likely to do it. But I suppose that's because I'm taking the better approach, and probably you and Amy take the same approach of we're going to do this now, and Amy can spark this kind of okay,
Yeah.
there's some urgency here. Frank just looks at me and goes, okay, we've got to do this. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, babe, let's do it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's horses for courses, but maybe Ben should be more kind on himself with his bath scores.
Maybe you are being too hard on yourself. You would give yourself a 5. Like, I don't think you've had a 5. I think that's how you feel about it. I think Oscar loves it when you bath him.
Can I? Yeah, I think that they probably do enjoy it. What I'm going to say to you is, that's my score based on my experience, an experience before which you aren't there for 2 hours. So of course, you experience it in a good way. You're not there. Do you want to do a quick rock paper scissors for who's going to do it this evening?
I'm not doing bath time. I'm going to bed.
Oh, okay. That comes to us.
Sorry.
It's fine.
That's how you win a game
At
of
least
rock,
it's
paper,
clear.
scissors.
It's fine. It's summer. It's summer. We can do a Monday.
I've done 24 hours worth of decorating the kitchen.
Yes. Oh, I haven't even talked about it as one of our wins or challenges. You are but it's technically your fault because you got your awesome diagnosis, and that was the biggest thing this week. But we have painted an entire kitchen using part round of the dining room to do, which comprises 5 different colours and cupboards off of walls and stuff.
Yeah.
And the process for doing that was that I partly body doubled and partly coached Laura through, and hardly picked up a paintbrush at all. Now that sounds like I got out of it, but it's because Laura was able to hyperfocus given the hydration, caffeination, encouragement, and interception of side quests, which I managed.
Love the side
mate.
quest stuff. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of side quests. But to be fair,
Good team.
as much as I really did do, I would say 95% of the labour.
26%, I think.
96%. Like,
We did there.
I couldn't have done it without you. There we go. How do you feel about that?
Not
of 10.
condescended to at all.
Yeah, out of 10, how do you feel about that?
10 out of 10. It looks amazing. It's bright. What I do love is there's no colour discussion. We were like, yes, it's this. It's bold, it's bright, it's all over the place. Most people would probably go, that's too bright.
What I love about this, though, is that Ben's colourblind. So actually, he doesn't even really know what colours we painted the kitchen.
It hasn't got red or green. I'm fine.
Am I going
We
now?
might.
I think
We
you
might
are
have to share
going.
this.
I get these back. I'll have them back. Thanks. And I'm going to ask Dan what his bath time score is, and you're going to know when you listen. Excuse me, podcast listeners. I just have to find Laura's phone. There it is. It's just on the desk.
Side quest complete.
Side quest was indeed complete.
Some of them.
Yep. Another. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Laura
That's
made
amazing.
a Lego chrysanthemum.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Where'd you get that from?
You?
What? Did I buy it for you?
You did.
Why did I buy it
Smooth.
for you?
It's on anniversary.
It's our anniversary. Should I reach out of shot and get you my anniversary gift?
Yeah, go for it. Go on.
Laura
Like generation game.
Laura forgot. It's fine. It's 96% fine.
I didn't
It's fine.
forget.
I know you didn't forget. You just didn't find the
It's in the
time.
We had a
post.
deal that we weren't going to be buying presents, and then you went off-piste.
Sorry. But it's because you enjoyed it.
Yours is in my Amazon basket, which I haven't pressed okay yet, so I'll do that there.
Oh, wow. Yay! Tune in next week to find out what that is, or if Laura got distracted by looking at something else. She's incredible and amazing. Yeah. We had a lot of fun. But back to your bath. Is it time for you to tell me that you used the messy trains?
No, that will have to be another week.
It's
so-
okay. It's okay. I'm just holding out for a hero that one day you're going to go, we messy
No,
trains.
I've already briefed Amy on the game, and we agree it could be utilised. Hopefully soon. It might need to be deployed soon. Technically, the last bath Frankie had was just before this pod. So after having the day that we have had,
Oh, okay.
he got in. Don't get me wrong, strung it out a little bit of protesting, silent protesting downstairs, trying to rearrange the sofa cushions. But we both come upstairs, and sometimes when we do that, he kind of gets a bit of FOMO and he follows. And got his t-shirt off, and then we was like, come on. Got the iPad out, put the iPad on the side. I bought a like bath rack. I don't know. You can put a shelf in the bath kind of thing.
Yeah.
Absolute game changer. So put the iPad on that. He looked at it and was like, result. Jumped straight in,
Oh,
sat
cool.
in there, and then he just sits there and just like lets us like wash him or whatever. But after the day he had, I mean, I suppose in terms of full context of the day and his historical recent behaviour of will he, won't he,
Yeah.
I suppose it could be like a 9. Like just because he actually,
all context.
yeah, I mean, he got in and he just sat down, and when he wanted to get out, he just stood up, looked at us, and was like, "Let's get out." But yeah, so in a context of our day, I'd say it was like a 9, probably one of the
Amazing.
highlights of the day. In terms of actual like bath activity and whatever, it was just like, it was quite quick, and it was, yeah. So yeah, that's probably, in terms of context, it's probably one of the best baths. I was actually quite proud of him for doing it. But also he needed it. It's one of those, like, we've been covered in mud.
Something occurred to me about bath times that I reminded myself that I sometimes did when Oscar was younger. We were struggling to communicate about getting in a shower because we never used to have a bath where we used to live. And that was sorry, I'm logging scores. You guys were
Contextual 9.
right. That's optimistic 8 and contextual 9 2 weeks in a row. Let's go. That's
There we
great.
go. Let's do it.
And we are a Laura 9. Cool. Which you're right is a 10 and a 9. The highest scores, but both of which were not by me. Yeah, I used to kind of get more like either get the flannel, because Oscar used to enjoy a flannel, doesn't so much anymore, or wet my hand and just lay it on the back of their neck. Like, not as like a, ooh, I'm like got cold neck, but just like a, like show them my wet hand and put it on their neck. And that made them sometimes, and I would go like whatever hand signals and break down the language. Now, shower, water. And that's sometimes used to promote them going in. So, but you know, you work out what works. But if a bath shelf works, mate, it's also an item that you can carry. It's not like an item like the iPad that if you give the iPad, that our Frankie's not going to go, oh, bath. But if you give the bath shelf, well, not give him the bath shelf, but like lead him that way, you've got 2 handles on either end.
Yeah, technically.
Extend
yes,
it.
yeah.
You could extend it out.
It
Like
extends.
extending bath shelf.
Yeah, it
He
extends.
can grab. He can grab one end. You can grab the other. And then
Yeah,
you
we
just
could
got
use that as a prop. Yeah,
then you just got to
yeah,
whip the
definitely.
handcuffs on and just slide him up there so he can't get out. No, I'm not suggesting that you should handcuff your children to the bath in order to get them, give them a bath. But yeah, no, that's fun. It's like a little prop and a little visual reminder that it's bath time. Cool.
Can get his drink up there as well. It's got like a little cup holder spot. Or if you wanted to be all fancy, a candle. That might be a bit too much.
Dan, in all honesty, did you buy the bath shelf for either you or Amy and go, this could be a good idea for Frank, or did you buy it solely for Frank?
So,
It's win-win either way.
Complete honesty, I bought it because we were for Frank because of let's try something different.
Oh, cool.
But Amy's pretty happy with the purchase, I think, as well, because she's like, well, when I get a chance to have a bath now, I can have a candle, cup of tea, if I want an iPad or a book or whatever it is. Actually, as bath shelves go, I'm pretty impressed with this one.
Nice.
So,
Good stuff.
but yeah.
Good. A win for all the family. All right. Well, a little bit different, but yeah, I didn't expect that 10 episodes in we'd be having a guest on. I don't know what I thought, really. 10 podcasts. Well done. That's good. I think just the consistency of meeting every Sunday has been good. There was one Monday because I forgot things.
Yeah, but it's all good. The Euros were an obstacle
yeah.
to overcome. But
Yeah.
statistically speaking, I'm pretty sure like 90% of podcasts don't make it past 10 episodes.
96%. 96%. 96%.
So we're doing well.
Amazing. Okay, buddy. Well, lovely to chat to you. I didn't think we got Laura to say goodbye, but you know, maybe she'll be back in the future when we've got bits to chat about. Fantastic. Well, yes, this has been Ben and Dan, and we have been in the NeuroDADverse, sharing our wins, challenges, looking forward to our week ahead, ratings and bath time scores, having a chat with my wife Laura, all in the NeuroDADverse. If you like this, or you want to hear us chat about something, or you've listened to something you think, oh, I've got something I could chat to them about, and we are here to learn as much as we are to tell you about what's going on in our lives. So please get in touch. We are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, and our email is NeuroDADverse@gmail.com. Dan, is that all correct?
Smashed it.
Look
I
at
believe so,
this.
yeah.
I'm remembering stuff. Maybe I'll get the intro right next week. You'll have to tune in. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday and the rest of your weekend. And everyone else, we will see you soon.
Win the week, everyone.
Let's have a win. Bye-bye. That's about it for the NeuroDADverse. We'll be back next week.
If you laughed, cried, or nodded in tired agreement, don't forget to follow us and leave a review. It helps more parents find us.
Just remember, you're doing great.
You are enough, and you are definitely not alone.
Got a question or want to share a story? Drop us a message on Instagram or email us at neurodadverse@gmail.com. Look after yourselves.